She found a passage in the wall leading into her own apartment. But in that version, there was no way out. Emily Carter lived alone in a small apartment in Brooklyn. Third floor, old building, quiet neighbors, predictable routine. She worked remotely, rarely went out, valued order. Every item in her apartment had its place. One evening, she heard a strange sound behind the wall. Not a knock, not scraping, like someone moving furniture. The neighboring apartment had been empty for months. The agent said it was under renovation, but no workers were seen. Emily ignored the sound at first, but it came back the next day, at the same time, exactly at 9:17 p.m. The third evening was different. The sound lasted longer, slow, heavy, persistent. That's when she decided to check the wall. The wall between the kitchen and living room looked normal, but if she listened closely, the sound came from there. Emily knocked. No answer. But the sound stopped immediately. That bothered her the most. She ran her hand along the wall and noticed an uneven line, a thin seam, almost invisible like a hidden door. The next day she bought tools, just a screwdriver and a drywall knife. That evening, at exactly 9:17, the sound returned, and she decided to open that section of the wall. The drywall gave in surprisingly easily. Behind it was a narrow passage, about 2 feet wide, dark, unlit, with cold air inside. She turned on her phone flashlight and looked in. The passage went straight ahead for a few feet. And then, there was a room. Her own living room, same furniture, same books, same lamp by the couch. But everything felt slightly off, like it had been copied from memory, not from reality. The books were in the wrong order. The clock showed a different time. And most importantly, there was no window and no front door. Emily hesitated for a long time, but curiosity pushed her forward. She stepped inside. The temperature dropped instantly. The air felt heavy, still. She walked into the kitchen. There was a mug on the counter, the same one she had broken a week ago, whole again, but with a crack like it had just formed. Emily felt it then, like something was watching her. She turned back toward the passage and saw herself. Another Emily stood at the entrance. She didn't move, just watched. Her face was calm, too calm. The real Emily stepped back, and at that moment, the passage began to close. The wall shifted slowly like it was alive. She ran toward it, but the other Emily didn't move. She just stood there, watching. And at the last second, she smiled. The passage sealed shut, and the apartment was left without an exit. 2 days later, Emily's co-workers reported her missing. She stopped answering calls, stopped showing up online. Police forced entry into the apartment. No signs of struggle or forced entry were found. The wall between the kitchen and living room was intact. No cracks, no repairs. But the report mentioned one strange detail. There was a mug on the kitchen table, with a crack, exactly as her friends described, even though the original had been thrown away a week earlier. The case gained attention after the report was released. Later, photos of the apartment appeared online. In one of them, in the reflection of a dark TV screen, there's a figure of a woman, standing deep in the room, looking directly at the camera, even though no one was inside at the time. Since then, several residents have reported sounds. Exactly at 9:17 p.m., like someone is moving furniture behind the wall. Archived reports and witness statements are still available, but no one has been able to explain what happened. If you found a passage like that, would you step inside? Subscribe for more stories that people prefer not to talk about.